Barcelona City FM 107.3. You're listening to the sound of Barcelona. This is Going Deep. My name is Billy Harfosh. I would like to thank our guests earlier. They are called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s. They're a new band here in Barcelona in Spain. Some really cool music, very good stuff. We are going to switch gears a little bit now, though, and I have Rama Siva with me, the rich thinking guru. And Mr. Siva here, he actually struggled. He struggled, believe it or not, early in life with a very severe stuttering problem for decades. Now he is here live on the radio to talk about that experience, to talk about getting over his fears, and also to talk about his new book, Rich Thinking: Escape the 9 to 5 and Live Your Dream Life. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you like or share our Facebook live feed, you will be in the running for a signed copy of the book. Rama, welcome to the show. Come on, get nice and close to that microphone. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Billy. I'm doing very good.
Yeah, so, you know, I hate to have to introduce you like that, but since we're live on the radio, we don't have all kinds of time, and what I'd like to do is get right into it. So the truth is, from a very early age, you suffered from a severe stuttering problem. Talk about some ways that held you back in building relationships.
That's right. From the age of 3, I had a severe stutter, which meant that I wasn't able to be myself. And going through school was quite painful. And I found that I wasn't able to make good friends. And going to college and university, the same thing persisted with me. And I found that my speech didn't allow me to express myself. And while writing this book, I had to interview 20 entrepreneurs. And by doing something which I was really afraid of, which was actually talking, it helped me to break free from the fear of speaking and stuttering. And then now I realize that the stuttering habit that I had was as a result of the fear of stuttering or speaking. And that compounded itself, which meant that I was holding back in life, holding back doing anything.
Now, Rama, it takes a strong person, a person with a lot of guts, to overcome something like that. But actually, we all have our own fears. We all have our own handicaps in different forms or another. My question is, back then, how did you feel in your own skin? You had things you wanted to say, I'm sure, but you just couldn't express yourself. Take me back to that moment, and how did you feel?
I felt very alone. I felt very isolated, and like I mentioned, I didn't have many good friends. And the friends that I had, I felt that they didn't get to know the real me. Now, the real me is someone who is happy to talk to anyone, happy to go on the radio and share his life with everyone. Because I believe everyone has fears, everyone has problems that they're dealing with. But if they can have the mindset of positivity, the mindset of belief in themselves, then they can break free from whatever's holding them back.
Well, everybody's got something holding them back, and we're all looking to break free in one way or another. But you're sitting right here in my studio, and you're speaking quite clearly, quite nicely. How did you, without getting into details, how did you overcome this stuttering problem?
So it started when I was 18, when I went into List Hospital in Stevenage, where I attended a 2-week speech therapy course. And there I was taught a prolongation technique in how to speak in a way that would help me. But when I went back to the real world, when I went to college, when I went to university, I found that my speech was still not as good as it is now, simply because I have evolved. I've transformed myself in such a way that I'm able to speak to you without the fear. I have a cold right now, and before I would have been a bit nervous because I couldn't breathe properly and speak in the technique.
Well, you sound great with a cold, without a cold. What you're doing, and I think even the process of writing this book, putting yourself out there. I saw your appearance on the BBC. You're here today at Barcelona City FM. I'm sure there's going to be many more opportunities for you in the coming months, in the coming years. But to go out on a public stage and tell your story, that's something that I think we can all look up to as an inspiration. More of your story, The Rich Thinking Guru, coming up next, and then we're going to get into the book. Then we're going to get into the details. Stay with us, Barcelona City FM 107.3. It's Pablo. I love that song. Isn't that a good song? That's Pablo and the Appleheads right there, a good friend of the show. So we're here back with Rama Siva, the Rich Thinking Guru, and we're going to get into all things writing books and author and fancy media things. But we're starting a couple of decades ago. You've got quite an interesting story from overcoming your fears, overcoming your stutter, working at 10 Downing Street. You've done a lot of cool things, and you're here today. So, Rama, there's a lot of people listening in who might have some kind of a problem, and it might not be a speech impediment, but it could be struggling with depression, struggling with stress, all kinds of problems that we have as humans. If you could, is there any workable, usable piece of advice you would give to someone that just wants to start? That just wants to start to change their lives in a positive way? Easy question, right?
Something I just learned quite recently was the power of rich thinking. And for me, it means that if you have something holding you back, something stopping you from getting out there, count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do it.
That's really funny, because that was the name of the band we had this morning earlier.
Exactly.
So wait, let's do it right now. So if something is becoming really fearful, really stressing you in your life, right? Yeah. You say count backwards. Yeah. Yeah. Then what?
And just, for example, if you have anxiety and you're not able to get out of bed, and you've been in bed for like 1 week, and you just feel that you're depressed and something's holding you back, when the alarm clock sounds at 6 o'clock, shout out aloud, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and power yourself out of the bed and get out of bed.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm inspired. I would add one little part. I would say also music. For me, music is a huge inspiration. Let's put on some low music here. Let's try this. Stay with me. Turn it up. Okay. So we're in bed, not together, but we're in bed, someone's in bed, and they're having a terrible, stressful week, month. They broke up with their boyfriend, their girlfriend. Something is holding them back. You're being serious. We count down from 5, and then we get out. Okay, so let's try it. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Jump out of bed now and start running.
Get your ass up, jump out of bed right now and start running. I like that. I think it worked. I feel better. How do you feel, Nat? You feel all right? Yeah, I think it's good. So that's some actionable advice. Count down from 5 and get your ass in gear. Do something positive today. Now, with you personally, you had, if I understand correctly, you had a speech therapist, yeah, that was helping you with some, I guess, physical ways of speaking.
Yeah, it was a technique to be able to speak.
But did you reject the therapist and just started doing it on your own and just say, I gotta just get over this?
So I went to speech therapy when I was 18, and subsequently I struggled, but I managed to get through university and graduate. Like you mentioned, I got a job at number 10 Downing Street, and that was in April 2001.
That's pretty cool. For my American listeners, 10 Downing Street is like the White House of England. So that's a pretty high-level job. Yeah? Continue.
And my speech there was atrocious. I just felt very nervous. I felt a lot of pressure, and I wasn't confident, and basically my speech really fell apart. And I went on a speech therapy program called the Maguire program in the August of 2001, and that gave me the first steps to be able to speak again. They taught me how to breathe using the costal diaphragm. They taught me different techniques in terms of making the first assertive first sound and other techniques. So that was the first breakthrough when I was 25.
But let's be honest, anyone can give you techniques and ways to practice, but there comes a moment when it's on you, right? With anything, it's on you. You gotta break through, and you gotta actually use what you've learned, but somehow jump over the hurdle and actually put what you've learned into real practice. So I want to shift gear, and I want to talk about something very near and dear to my heart, and that is girls, women. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? You're a married man. Yeah. When you're younger and you have an issue like this, and many people have this problem that even don't have a speech impediment, are you able to meet the opposite sex and to mingle and do that whole thing, or were you too nervous to talk to women?
In that area of my life, I really struggled a lot, and it took me a long time to be able to speak to girls in terms of getting to know them, in terms of developing a relationship. So it took me a long time, and I can see the stages of my life. I've been married 2.5 years now, and my life has changed a lot, simply because I met my wife and I got married, and now I have a son. And it's changed because I met her. That gave me the confidence that a girl can fall in love with me, will marry me, and will have my son.
Well, I still haven't got to the marriage part, but I can understand the confidence. When you have the opposite sex, or the same sex, whatever you're attracted to, interested in you, all of a sudden you kind of feel like you're worthy. Yeah, right? Is that right? Now, can you remember the first moment that you approached your wife? Please tell me please tell me it was online or something. Was it online?
No,
It was in person.
it was in person.
And you got the balls to walk right up to her and just say, "Hey, I'm Rama. Like, how are you?"
No, I was traveling in Buenos Aires in Argentina, and she came over to the apartment complex where I was staying, and she was with a friend, and we just said hello and just hit it off. We were friends, and then more quite quickly.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Good man.
and-
I like to hear that.
Yeah. So it was very easy in terms of speaking with her, mainly because she joked about my speech
Ah.
at that moment.
She made a joke.
Yeah.
And you were okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was okay, but now I'm obviously a lot more confident after having written a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Written a book, and at that time, she was very nice to me, and yeah, so it was a good experience that someone didn't reject me because of my speech.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, even though I'd been on speech therapy programs, it's only when you work on your inner game that's the real breakthrough that I have made personally in my life, and which is what I want to try and share with the rest of the world. I believe 100% that we create our reality, and we do that through our beliefs, our habits, our actions, and our thoughts. So, for example, when I was talking to you about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we had a habit, or someone had a habit of staying in bed and not waking up when the alarm sounded. So by just shouting out aloud 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and jumping out of bed, you have interrupted that habit which has been going on for a week.
That pattern. You stop the
exactly.
pattern.
Stop the pattern by just doing something different and getting out of bed and doing exercise. Doing
Yeah.
exercise is an important
Sure.
aspect in getting out of depression or getting out of that type of negative mindset.
Yeah. The term cold turkey, like people talk about quitting smoking or alcohol. Sometimes it's like, for me, it's like just breaking the pattern and just jumping in the cold swimming pool.
Yeah.
Just get it over with. You know what I mean? We have much more with Rama Siva coming up, the Rich Thinking Guru. We are going to talk about his book, Rich Thinking, Escape the 9 to 5 and Live Your Dream Life. And we're going to give away a signed copy next segment. Stay with us, Barcelona City FM 107.3. Barcelona City FM. We're listening to a little Begun here. This is his track called San Francisco, one of our past guests, Begun. Right now, I am talking to the Rich Thinking Guru. He wrote a book called Rich Thinking, Escape the 9 to 5 and Live Your Dream Life. Rama Siva is here, and we are about to give away a free autographed copy of his book. So we've got some people that liked our photos on Facebook and Instagram and our live feed. So I will ask you, pick one. Close your eyes, please. No cheating. Just one. Who do we have? The lucky winner is... Can you read that name?
The lucky winner is Rosario Badal.
Rosario Badal, you have a copy of Rich Thinking by Rama Siva. Can you autograph it right here for the cameras? Mm-hmm. Here he goes. He's going to autograph the book nice and live. Congratulations, and thank you all. Thank you all for sharing the feed, and thank you for listening to the show. So as you're writing that, Rama, I'd like to ask you, you've been through a lot. You've had a lot of ups and downs, and obviously your life has turned for the better. You're a happily married man. You have a young son living in London and everything like that. But if you could go back a couple decades back in time, and you could write yourself a letter, a short letter, what would you say to yourself back then? So you sitting here, you write yourself a letter to the young Rama. What kind of advice would you give yourself?
That's a really good question.
I know.
Billy. I would write, Dear Rama.
Dear Rama. So you would even make sure you know who it's from.
Indeed.
Okay.
And I would start. I'm now 40 years old, actually 41, and from what I've learned in the last few decades, the life you are currently living is where your mentality is at. So you need to start reading books, start listening to success mentors, and you need to apply one thing from each book. And when you do that, then you will start to make progress in your life and create the reality that you want.
Very nice. Very deep. Okay, ready? Here's mine. Dear Billy, just say no. No, that's a joke. Okay, seriously. Dear Billy, it's not 100% necessary to go to university. You have the ability to work, make contacts, even without university. Party hard on Thursday night. Don't worry about the 8 a.m. lecture on Friday morning. Travel often, and start traveling as soon as possible, because you will learn more away from your comfort zone than you will ever learn in a classroom. Have fun. Love you, Billy. How was that?
Awesome.
Pretty cool. It's a nice exercise you can do. Write yourself a letter, and then you'll probably see some of the regrets, and that helps for your next 41 years. So Rama, let's get right into it. Here it is. Here's the book. Got it here on camera. Why, after everything you've been through, you're a successful guy, why take the time to interview 20 leaders and entrepreneurs and put together this pretty thick book here? Why do it?
It's been a dream of mine to be an author and a speaker. As a person with a stuttering habit, it really held me back in my life. But I really had the desire to be an author and a speaker. And the easiest way for me to write a book was to interview famous people, and had the privilege of interviewing Alan Koshori, who's the former manager of Novak Djokovic.
Sure.
Vishen Lakiani, who's the founder and CEO of Mind Valley.
Yep.
And and Gary McEwen, who's the founder of TrustedTrader.com, and all these great entrepreneurs.
So, but this is your first book, correct?
It is, yes.
So how do you make those connections? Obviously, you're doing the interviews through Skype. You're not flying all over the world, right? But how do you even make the connection to reach out to them to get a yes? Yeah, sure, I'll take my time to talk to, let's be honest, an author that hasn't written their first book yet.
Indeed. For example, to get to Vishen Lakhiani, there was a great lady by the name of Shelley Lefko. And I interviewed her, and she introduced me to Vishen. I knew she knew Vishen because on Facebook, Twitter, you can see who's a follower and like.
Sure.
Friend.
Where's the connection?
Yeah. So I interviewed Shelley, hoping that she would introduce me to Vishen, and that's how it happened.
Okay, and then you get some well-known people involved that you can attach their names to your book.
Yeah.
Smart strategy, by the way. Very smart strategy. So you're interviewing these 20 entrepreneurs and leaders. Can I ask you, what are one or two of the common questions that you asked them?
The first question I asked most of them was, what inspired them to get to where they are now? What was the first step that they took on their journey?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out of bed.
That's it.
Sometimes, right?
Indeed.
So what inspired them? What other questions did you ask them?
Offhand, I think I obviously asked them what their plans were for the next few years, and I asked them about their habits, what type of mindset, and a question which comes to mind was, what did they do to make the breakthrough in terms of having a successful life?
That's big. That is big. What was that, like, what do you call it? The tipping point.
Yeah.
What was the tipping point? Yeah. So, Rama, your book is called Rich Thinking, but I haven't got a chance to read the whole thing, but I have been through some of it. This book is not a financial book. This is not a financial textbook of, numbers and stocks and bonds. This book, to me, is more of a mindset book, if I might say so. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. I would like you to tell our audience, not everything, we got to save some secrets, but a little bit about why they should take the time to purchase the book and read about this kind of mind shift. Yeah? Tell us a little bit about that.
When I talk about the power of rich thinking, I'm talking about the mindset shift that will occur within you. I talk about the universe being one energy field, that we are all part of the divine, that we are creators. We create our reality whether we believe it or not. So for example, if you are positive, if you are happy, then the success will follow you very quickly. If you are negative and if you are pessimistic, then the success will be pushed away from you. So just having the
positive
mindset,
vibes.
And taking action. The brain, the mind is there to protect you. As a human being, we find it difficult to do difficult things. But if you push yourself and just do one little thing each day towards your goal, then you'll get there.
There it is. There he is. That's a pretty good sales pitch. Rich Thinking, escape the 9 to 5 and live your dream life. That's something I think we all would like to do. Where can people find the book and find out about your adventures and what you have going on?
Well, they can get the book on Amazon and just search for Rich Thinking and my name Rama Siva. And you can connect with me at Facebook on Rich Thinking Guru or Rama Rich Thinking.
Rama Rich Thinking. Rama, you're an inspiration to us all. You've overcome a lot, and we just want to see where this thing takes you. Good luck with the book. Good luck with your family, and we hope to have you back sometime very soon.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you so much. Here she is, Cynthia Lund, past guest, Barcelona City FM. Stay with us.
trees are crying, leaves are falling. Trees are crying, leaves are falling. I said, I said, the trees are crying, leaves are falling. Trees are crying, leaves are falling. I said, I said. The avenues are boulevards.
Barcelona City FM 107.3. Thanks to my guests, the 54321s. They're going to have some new music coming your way. And of course, thanks to Rama. Rich thinking. Escape the 9 to 5 and live your dream life. Everyone, thanks for sharing the feed. We'll be back next week with, I can't tell you, it's a secret, but another jam-packed show. Enjoy Red Velvet, Cynthia Loon.